The wind carried the scent of salt and rain as Eleanor Vance stepped off the coach. Her boots sank slightly into the mud of the coastal road. The driver tipped his hat, eager to be gone before the weather turned worse. Eleanor looked ahead at the looming silhouette of Ashbourne House, a great estate on the cliffs, half devoured by ivy and thyme. Some said it was cursed. She did not believe in curses. She believed in human motives. And those, she knew, could be far darker. A letter had brought her here. Neatly written, unsigned, "If you wish to know what really happened to your brother, come to Ashbourne House. Midnight, the 3rd of November." Her brother, Thomas Vance, had been dead for 5 years. Drowned, they said, during a storm. But there had never been a body. Lightning flashed across the sky, illuminating the gates. They groaned open as if pushed by invisible hands. Eleanor shivered, pulling her coat tighter. The house rose before her, tall windows like eyes, unblinking. When she knocked, the door opened almost at once. A butler, thin as bone, regarded her. "Miss Vance, we've been expecting you," he said. "Who sent for me?" He did not answer, only gestured her inside. The hall was lit by candles, their flames bending with each gust. Oil paintings lined the walls, ancestors in black, watching in silence. The air smelled faintly of seaweed and dust. Somewhere, a clock chimed 12. "Your room is prepared," said the butler. "I'm not staying the night," she said. He tilted his head. "Then you shouldn't have come after dark." Eleanor followed him up the stairs. Her footsteps echoed like whispers. On the landing, she paused before a portrait. A man stood beside the sea, his hand resting on a compass. Beneath it, Captain Thomas Vance. Her heart clenched. The butler's voice broke the silence. He was a fine sailor. "You knew him?" she asked. He nodded slowly. "Everyone here did. Some of us still do." Her room overlooked the cliffs. Waves crashed far below, pale with foam. There was a letter waiting on the desk, sealed with black wax. She broke it open. "Eleanor, if you have received this, then the truth is already moving toward you. Do not trust the living. Midnight will come twice tonight." She turned sharply. The butler was gone. Only the wind answered. Downstairs, the candles flickered again. Eleanor heard faint voices, low, urgent. She followed them through the hall to a door half open. Inside, a group sat around a long table. There were 5 of them: Lord Edmund Ashbourne, the owner, grey-haired, severe, with eyes like steel; Beatrice Ashbourne, his niece, pale, elegant, her fingers jeweled and restless; Dr. Lionel Crowe, the family physician, calm but twitchy; Captain Harrow, retired sailor, with a scar across his jaw; the butler, Mr. Holt, silent as ever. They stopped speaking as Eleanor entered. Lord Ashbourne rose. "Miss Vance, you received our message." "I received a message," she corrected. "Not signed by you." The old man smiled thinly. "The house has many voices. You will learn that soon enough." Beatrice poured her a glass of wine. "To the brave," she said softly, "and the curious." Eleanor didn't drink. Lord Ashbourne spoke again. "Your brother worked for me, Miss Vance. He managed my shipping ledgers. But he discovered something he shouldn't have." Eleanor's pulse quickened. "What sort of something?" "Smuggling," said Captain Harrow bluntly. "Gold, opium, relics, the usual rot. He found proof." "And you killed him for it?" Eleanor asked. The captain's chair creaked. "Careful, miss. Accusations in this house don't end well." Dr. Crowe sighed. "No one killed Thomas. He left during the storm, against every warning. The sea took him." "Did it?" Eleanor said quietly. Outside, thunder answered. That night, sleep refused her. Rain battered the windows. Somewhere below, she heard footsteps. Then a soft knock at her door. Who's there? She called. No reply. When she opened it, the corridor was empty, but a candle burned at the far end. She followed. It led her to the library. Inside, shadows danced over rows of ancient books. A map lay open on the desk, pinned by a brass compass, the same as in her brother's portrait. It was engraved, TV. Her throat tightened. Suddenly, a whisper behind her, he never left. She spun around. Beatrice stood in the doorway, her nightgown trailing like mist. What do you mean? Eleanor demanded. Beatrice's eyes shimmered. They buried him where the sea can't reach. Beneath the house. Why? To keep the past quiet. Eleanor stepped closer. You saw it? I helped dig, Beatrice whispered. Lightning struck so near that the windows rattled. When Eleanor looked back, Beatrice was gone. Only the candle remained, flickering beside the compass. By dawn, the storm had passed. Lord Ashbourne summoned everyone to breakfast. Beatrice did not appear. She's resting, said Dr. Crow. Eleanor noticed a smear of dirt beneath his fingernails. I'd like to see the cellar, she said. Ashbourne's eyes narrowed. There's nothing there. I'll decide that myself. He smiled coldly. Very well. Mr. Holt, show her. The butler led her down a spiral staircase. The air grew colder with each step. At the bottom, torches burned dimly. Barrels lined the walls, some marked with faded shipping symbols. Opium, Eleanor muttered. The butler said nothing. Then she saw it, a patch of fresh soil near the wall. And beside it, a wooden plank marked by initials, TV. Her voice shook. What is this? The butler's face remained still. You asked to see the truth, he said softly. But the truth has teeth. He raised a lantern, and the flame caught the glint of metal. A knife. Eleanor backed away, heart pounding. The butler stepped forward. Then, a gunshot. He fell. Captain Harrow stood in the doorway, pistol smoking. Didn't fancy watching another Vance die, he muttered. Eleanor stared at him. Then tell me what happened. Harrow hesitated. Your brother was right. We were smuggling. Ashbourne's orders. When Thomas found out, he threatened to go to the magistrate. The storm hit, and they used it as cover. Told me to toss his body from the cliffs. But you didn't. No, said Harrow. I buried him here. Thought maybe the sea could forgive him if I couldn't. Eleanor's vision blurred with tears. Then help me end it. The captain nodded grimly. But first, we need proof. They searched the butler's pockets. Found a key. It fit a locked cabinet in the study upstairs. Inside, letters, ledgers, and a photograph, Thomas shaking hands with Lord Ashbourne. On the back, scrawled words, he knows. And this before he talks. A floorboard creaked behind them. Dr. Crow stepped into the light. Put that down, he said. Eleanor turned. You were part of it too. He smiled faintly. We all were. But only one of us had to keep the balance. You mean the killings? Accidents, Crow said. Until you arrived. He raised a small pistol. But Harrow was faster. The shot went wide, hitting a mirror. Glass shattered. Crow lunged, knife flashing. Harrow fired again. The doctor collapsed. Blood pooled across the rug. Eleanor stared, shaking. Harrow wiped his mouth. That's one devil down. 2 to go. They confronted Lord Ashbourne in the dining hall. He was waiting, calm, a decanter of brandy in hand. "So the story continues," he said softly. "Your brother had the same fire." "You killed him," Eleanor said. "I preserved this house," Ashbourne replied. "Your brother wanted to destroy it. The estate, the family, everything built here. Built on blood," Harrow spat. "Built on loyalty," the old man corrected. "He chose betrayal." Eleanor stepped closer. "You don't deserve his loyalty." He smiled. "No, Miss Vance. But I deserve the silence that follows it." He drew a pistol. Harrow moved. But not fast enough. The gun fired, and Harrow fell. Eleanor screamed. Ashbourne turned the weapon toward her. "I did not want this," he said. "But the sea demands its due." Before he could fire, a voice echoed from the doorway. "Does it, father?" Beatrice stood there, pale, trembling, mud-streaked. Ashbourne's hand faltered. "Beatrice, you were buried," she said bitterly. "Like Thomas. But I dug myself free." She stepped forward, raising Holt's lantern. "You took everything from me," she said. Her father lowered the gun slightly. "Beatrice, listen," she hurled the lantern. It shattered across the floor, flames spreading fast. Ashbourne screamed as fire climbed the curtains. The house moaned with heat and smoke. Eleanor dragged Harrow's body toward the hall. Beatrice turned to her. "Go. Tell them what happened." "What about you?" "I belong to this house," she whispered. The flames consumed the portraits first, the ancestors melting into shadow. Then the beams above cracked and fell. Eleanor stumbled outside just as the roof collapsed. The sky glowed orange over the cliffs. By dawn, Ashbourne House was a skeleton of stone and ash. Eleanor sat on the hillside, wrapped in a blanket. The constables arrived from the village, muttering about smuggling, murder, ghosts. She said nothing. When they asked about the others, she shook her head. "Lost to the fire," she said softly. Days later, she returned to the ruins alone. The wind howled through broken arches. Among the ashes, she found the brass compass, still warm, its needle steady. She slipped it into her pocket. As she turned to leave, she heard it, a faint sound beneath the waves. A voice, calm and distant, whispering her name. She looked out to sea. A figure stood on the cliff below. Where the rocks met the foam, her brother, smiling faintly, hand raised in farewell. Then the mist swallowed him. Eleanor closed her eyes. "Rest now," she whispered. When she opened them, the sea was empty. She walked away from Ashbourne and never returned. But sometimes, years later, when storms rolled in, she swore she could hear the clocks of the old house still ticking, and a voice on the wind saying, "Midnight will come twice tonight."